give everyone dogs. I'm not a guard, go hard with a squad. I'm playing my part, but I'm LeBron. Wings of the team, I feel Jackson and hard. The homie calling from a cell, a couple of homies be making it.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Here's Jacobs. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Mahomes going to throw. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. 7 yards there and a first down. The numbers for him from a week ago. 5 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to pull that last pass in, but he's going to face a tall order here because he's going up against the number 2 unit in the NFL against the pass.
Mahomes firing complete, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now this window is running back out of the backfield, and he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, just keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Mahomes to throw once more. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. Well, look at the numbers for Coleman at last week's game. 14 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown as well.
Are we playing old-school football now? We've got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench and tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down. Right back to Coleman here on first down. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is, finish this drive off, because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, they have to be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
On second and goal, Jackson completes it to Coleman. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
They were stopped last time from the 1. Now here's another try on 3rd and goal. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Tight down. There you go.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Tyree Jackson keeping it himself from a yard out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Now, they went draw play there on 3rd down around the goal line, something you normally like to see, Charles?
Oftentimes, people are prepared for a pass in this situation, so the draw is a good call, but it's better when you usually have a lead blocker. If you don't have a fullback, you can use your H-back to pull in front. Sometimes you pull a guard to get out in front. Maybe it's your tight end, but they find a way to create a little bit of extra space. A bit of a surprise down near the goal line, but it was effective in this situation.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 47 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Now on 2nd and 13, Mahomes. He completes it to Wilson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. After the interception, here's Jackson. Forced out to his left. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And he fires one incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And he cuts it back right, and he's got a crease. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. Tevin Coleman, his 9th touchdown of the season as the Bears push further out in front. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on 3rd down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, picked up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. James Bradbury, he was right there to break it up. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. On second down, it's Jacobs. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes. Steady goes the off.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. The 20, 10, and at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose, and the Falcons grab it.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster, and we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out ahead, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw, it's Mahomes. And this is going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
Returnable for Grant. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards, and the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. He's letting this one go for... That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Will Fuller, his 6th touchdown of the season as the Bears push further out in front. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of two ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. 36 yards on the play. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They're able to locate Wilson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Caught, it's Wilson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down, and that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime, something to build on maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points, and now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get position for at least 3 points.
On 2nd and 1, Jackson. And almost intercepted. If he could have picked it, maybe some space to go the other way. Instead, it's 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. This time they stay on the ground. And he's going to have a 1st down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. Going deep downfield for Ross. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A big play there just before halftime. 48 yards. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This one from 35 yards away. And this one is right through. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They go play action now. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now on 4th down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears 19.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. 30, past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him and they told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Second and 10. At the 27-yard line. You got it, son.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down.
Let's go, D.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And Wilson has it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Short throw to Disley. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Throwing again. It's complete to Fuller. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 40. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here's Coleman. Dorian O'Daniel, third-round pick in 2018, made the tackle. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Jackson. That's going to be caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Will Fuller with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. On 2nd down, Montgomery. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now here's Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go. Whoosh.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10.
He's checking. Crash.
On first down. Coleman, room here to run. 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Tevin Coleman, his 10th touchdown of the season, second of the game, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down. A nice, safe throw and a good one.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Throwing now is Mahomes. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Now Mahomes. And he finds Montgomery complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game.
Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. And finally out of bounds all the way down at about the 2. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 61 yards. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Will Fuller with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, there was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Here's Mahomes to throw. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. I'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as
under pressure again, and down he goes again. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now a look at Will Fuller as he and the rest of the offense gears up to get ready to go again. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. And I don't quite know what's happening here. It's a 1st down, but the field goal team is out onto the field. And his kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Mahomes going to throw. It's caught by Davis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta. On 1st down, Mahomes. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. To throw on 2nd and 6. Mahomes under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's had himself a game.
Completes it to Davis. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the 1st down. And no move by Dan Quinn to get the offense off the field. They're staying out there, and they're going for it on 4th. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the return will stop right around the 25.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Albert Wilson, the intended receiver there. And it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Now a desperation throw deep down. He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 39. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 48 yards. Short throw to Disley. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job